welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. The sixth day of this second 40-day condition being Monday the 29th of March or the 17th of February in our 9th year of Chongyilguk. So let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Shariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전맨세 6. 천의국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 손을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family Pledge 6. Our family, the owner of Chongyilguk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. Okay. I'd like to ask Naoko Raymond if she could do the opening prayer. Thank you.
Yes, every parents, true parents, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity to gather together to receive the Fundoke reading, and we are really want to unite with you and true parents. And we really understand your heart and really fulfill that your dream and true parents' dream and our dream. So today also we are really grateful that Reverend Yamada to prepare for this Fundoke. And together with brothers and sisters, we really want to receive the message from you. And thank you so much. I pray, I report all these things in the name of Kim and Naoko Raymond, Blessed Central Family, Aju.
Aju. Thank you. Let's welcome Reverend Yamada as he offers us our hundok together. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming today's Oceania Fundoke and morning devotion. Today also begin with all our brothers and sisters and together with our heavenly parents and true parents. Let's offer our heart and devotion. And also last weekend, there are many kind of providential event, a youth blessing festival, and also Australia, a UPF webinar, and also Chinese Federation. So each time there are many kind of event is going on, we will put our heart to cooperate and work together and really develop ourselves and also our foundation. So yesterday we saw about movement, how True Mother was meeting our True Father first time in Chompadon with Temonim. So we share about those meeting in the first meeting with True Father together. And also yesterday one sister, Mrs. Mary, also said, is there some True Fathers sharing about first meeting impression with True Mother? So I check also the Korean one and another book of True Parents life course. I found one part, but little bit mixing. So anyway, I will share one part. This is father said, I met True Mother once when she was 14 and twice more before I married her. I met her officially when she was 14. At the time, I called her and tested her to see if she was qualified for the future. The daughter of a person who had sacrificed silently at the bottom of the world and who had promised in her heart to go further was chosen. I chose the daughter of an aunt who had been living a devotion life in the church, a daughter who was in her second year of high school. When I got a wife, I did not focus on my own desire. Also, when I married True Mother, I did not marry her because I said, God, it is time for me to marry, so I will. God said, it is time for you to get married. That's why I got married, because God said, the time has come for me to get married, so I will. That is the principle. True Mother also, she came to me without the intention of marrying me, and somehow it happened. So those what I found through another True Parents life course book, but I'm not sure this is True Father talking when he met first meeting or second meeting or third meeting. When we see the True Mother's autobiography or another one, True Father met True Mother for 9 years, 9 hours, and True Father asked many kind of questions. True Mother also show her drawing picture. Those part was mentioned next chapter in True Mother's life course, autobiography. So anyway, I'm still looking for if there is some first impression of True Father, if there is those kind of father's message when True Mother was 13 years old and first meeting in Chompadon. Yes, so if I found another story, I will share to you also. So today we are reading about those time period of True Mother for the high school period, middle high school and high school period, and to meeting True Father, and now preparing to going to the holy wedding ceremony. So during that time, how was the True Father's providential preparation that time? So let's see together. Acquittal and New Beginning. This is a headquarter church in Seoul, Chompadong. So True Father bought this building. In the beginning, this building was so much black and so much dirty, but True Father and all members cleaned up together. So October 4, 1955, released from Sodem prison, and October 7, 1955, headquarter church moved to Chompadong. And July 20, 1957, witnessing nationwide 40-day pioneering. So after Sodemon prison, when True Father entered, then he came out and he moved, headquarter church moved to Chompadon. When he came out from Sodemon prison, already all the church was sold. That's why he found out the new building, and finally he borrowed the money and he bought and moved to this Chompadon church. So during that time period, Chon Suk-jeon and also Temonim went to headquarter church and met True Father. This is Unification Church, Tongil Kyohe. So this is the early time photo. Yes, all members also came. New Beginning. This is also the witnessing activity, witnessing workshop time period. So activities with members of the Yamok Methodist Church who joined in 1957. So very old photo, around 70 years ago. Publication of explanation of the divine principle. 1952, to Father wrote the worldly one-born. This is the first one, worldly one-born. So original divine principle, this one. And second one, 1957, explanation of the divine principle. This is the second one, little bit additional explanation, totally not 100% different, but different one. And third one, the 1966 divine principle, which we are studying and we are reading every time. This is the third one, 1966 divine principle. An article in the press about the era. At the time when the Korean people were still suffering from the post-war effects, people basically lived in home almost destroyed with nothing to eat or wear. A state of death looked everywhere and continued. Just as foreign media reported, it was a nation in ash where even a single rose could not bloom. To think of pursuing one's dream and of studying were considered extravagant. Yet one day, visitors that came to us and made us dream once more. Through the divine principle teachings, they said the Lord will come in this country and that we can live in happiness again. These teachings were indeed shocking. In the morning, they would clean the village. During the day, they will volunteer to help the farmers, even though they must have been tired by then. They will teach us at night. Their words were indicating that the kingdom of heaven was near, just as preaching in Christianity through the Bible. Even though they were hungry themselves, they took care of us, the hungry, with love. I cannot forget them. It was a time when we would get thrilled through those teachings while still aching from the difficulties that befell on this nation. So this is article in the press about an era. So that moment Korea was really the suffering situation, even no food, even the foreign media is talking about that Korea, this nation in ash, where even a single rose could not bloom. So this kind of newspaper is talking about how Korea was difficult. And another article, even my brothers around me were off my mind with these people. The teacher would miss meals and drink cold water instead, using fasting as his or her excuse. However, everyone knew that was not true. Witnessing their desperate battle and how they were risking their lives for these people and for us, we found ourselves secretly leaving lunchboxes within the lecturing room. Not only were they well known in our village, but their names began to be printed in the pages and they became well known throughout the nation. They were called the group of evergreens or Nongdowon. Park Chung-hee's government, which came to power in 1963, became indebted to them. The new village movement that they initiated was possible on this existing foundation. This was quite obvious as they won most of the voluntary service hours and especially the May 16 National Order of Merit. It was only after I grew up that I found out that the teacher who had taught us back then was from the Unification Church. Even though I worked at the Shin-ilbo, I can never forget that inspiration and shock of those days. May 17, 1968 article in Shin'ilbo. So Truffaut started the national movement and activity in 1957 to send the 40 days pioneering and the several activity. So this one from the city by city, they're finally going to the mission. So going to the nation. So 1963, 1968, this become already the national movement. Maybe you heard about New Village movement. So this one actually started by Truffaut, and government conducted this movement as the government project. That's why article in the press about those kind of era, this article was published. So even the poor area, but this visited to raise up the New Village movement. So we can see the footprint. One night I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky, flashed scene from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. I think this heard many times. This is some Christians' dream about relationship with God. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprint in the sand. I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprint. This really troubled me, so I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during the saddest and most troublesome times of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why, when I needed you the most, you would leave me. He whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never leave you. Never ever during your trials and testings. When you saw only one set of footprint, it was then that I carried you. So that time all missionary face or really going through the difficult or challenging time period, even people could not see God. But God always together with you, with us, with the person. So this is one kind of a poem. So sending out the first overseas missionary. When Truffaut was preparing about the Holy Wedding 1960. So this 3 years time period for preparation, not only the National Foundation in Korea, in the same time, Truffaut should have prepared the foundation for the overseas mission, the International Mission Foundation. That's why Truffaut prepare and send the missionary to Japan and also the United States. This was in 1958 and also 1959. 1958 mission work in Japan. Missionary Che Bon-chun sent out Japan's important providential role and love to save Japan. So that time even there is no official diplomatic connection between Korea and Japan, but because of God's providence, Truffaut choose one person, the missionary Che Bon-chun, and sent to Japan. This is the starting moment of missionary and the history in Japan. And start of worldwide mission work, strategic start of mission work through his love to save the world. Missionaries sent to 95 countries in February 1975. So this is a little bit later, 1975. Truffaut sent the all missionary to the world. Maybe I think some of you is the member of this missionary group, I think. Is there someone is the missionary group of 1975? So that time Trifada, yes, thank you. That time Trifada choose the missionary and to send to the world. In 1959, mission work in the United States. Missionary Kim Jong-un sent out and positioned like ancient Rome, a center of worldwide mission, so foundation for worldwide activity. When Trifada started the unification movement in Korea, 1954, 1957, those moments, even foundation was small, but Trifada's vision or view was already the world level, how to save the world, and even the providential requirement. He should have made the foundation for the international connection. That's why even inside of Korea, the foundation is not strong and membership is not strong, but to further prepare, encourage members and decide to send the missionary to the world. Because of that, Japan mission history and the United Nations, all history was started. We can see this. 3-year course right before the Holy Wedding. So missionary sent to Japan and the United States for the first time. Trifada and missionary Chae Bon-chun. So this person is Chae Bon-chun. This photo is June 15, 1959. He went to Japan, but few times, 2 times kicked out, and finally 3rd time he entered to Japan. So this he went to 3 times, and missionary sent to the United States. Kim Jong-un, February 1, 1959, and Kim San-chol, September 18, 1959. So during that period, they are the main person in the United States missionary. I don't know, someone met these leaders, Kim Jong-un, Kim San-chol, in USA, 1959, 1960, old age. Yes, so they are the missionary, almost the first pioneering. Now really Japan was grow up and developed, and United States movement really developed as the mother nation and as the first son nation. But first starting point was happened at that period. This is photo. And this is old age already visiting the missionary Chae Bon-chun office. So he became old, but he was also connected well. Trifada foundation of Cheonsong when sending missionaries. Before he left, I met missionary Chae Bon-chun in Kapsa temple in Chuncheon province, and I told him, until you arrive in Japan safely, I will not sleep, and I will continuously offer prayers and Cheonsong for you. I also told him not to come back without completing the mission, even if he were facing death. So when Trifada send missionary Chae Bon-chun to Japan, he gave those kind of message. So when he sent the missionary, he just stay without sleeping, really pray continuously and offer Cheonsong. This is Trifada's heart. He sent the many missionary to the world, but behind of that, he himself was more serious and most put Cheonsong and prayer to heavenly parents. And this also his order and his direction was also serious. Before completing your mission, you should not come back. This kind of serious direction which Trifada gave to the missionary and missionary Chae Bon-chun, and he fulfilled this mission in Japan. So missionary Chae Bon-chun's determination. If I die, who will save Japan? Then someone else would have to walk this painful, difficult path again. Who will convey these words of truth? the principle. Are you really thinking of making Japan fall in hell? If I were alone, fainting and dying here won't be a problem. Yet I am not alone. I have taken the responsibility over the happiness of the 100 million Japanese citizens. I have taken the responsibility to ensure the happiness of humanity. Will you still comfort yourself and be happy in front of death despite this? Satan be gone. When you two met the truth, weren't you so moved? Didn't you burn with the passionate desire to build God's nation on earth? Did you forget God's will? I will not die at all cost. I will save Japan at all cost. I came to Japan and advanced with all my heart, shedding sweat, crying tears, and vomiting blood. Yet people will only persecute me. Not one will properly listen to the word. However, because I was dedicating my everything in witnessing, I was not ashamed to the least. Now, Heavenly Father is giving me peace. Instead, I consider this as the best comfort, the greatest joy to me. So this is the testimony about Chebon-chun, missionary. So when he went to Japan, one time he went, but he was caught by police, and second time was he caught by police and kicked out to send to Korea again. So his was really difficult, but third time he went there, and he was caught again, but I think he drink the soy sauce or a lot of salt. He get many salt or soy sauce one time, and he became totally sick. So police sent him to the hospital. So in the hospital, he ran away and he started his mission life in Japan. That's why in the early time, missionaries' providence and missionary job is really life and death situation. So this is sharing about missionary Choi Bon-chun, the Japanese missionary. But I think all missionary spirit is same, to open the way to USA, open the way to Africa, open the way to South America or Europe, Middle East. Really, even this ticket, one-way ticket, 1975, maybe you are missionary, you are the one who listen directly from True Father. If you go your mission area, I will give one-way ticket. You should not come back this country before completing your mission. So this is really the serious determination and serious direction. True Father was serious, and all missionary was really serious to open how to make the God's nation here, how to save the population, how to save the citizen of this nation. That's why this kind of spirit or missionary went to the nation to open the way. Even death, life and death situation, even went to the hospital, even almost killed himself. That kind of serious situation, they went out and opened the way. That's why, how about the pioneering things? Not only just the simple activities. This is saving the people's spiritual life and saving the nation's future's life. So we could see how much their determination. And yet all of you, you are those missionary when you are in the beginning of your mission life. You went through many kind of experience, many kind of guidance. So I don't know, maybe Mr. Arai, you met also missionary Choi Bon-chun, maybe in Japan. So that time period, all missionary and our old elders, you met, you inherit, and you are the one who went out as the missionary. So before True Parents' Holy Wedding Ceremony, True Father seriously offered Johnson together with all early members, senior blessed families, and senior missionaries to commit how to save the nation of Korea and how to save the nation of the world. So we can see that even True Parents' Holy Wedding Ceremony is not just happen instantly or just simply in order to fulfill that. True Father, during this 3 time period, every time he was moving the place because he was almost facing the dangerous situation. If stay one place, many people found out him. So he was every time moving the place. So this 3 years time period was most dangerous time. This is the moment when Satan tried to kill him, because that time True Father was single, not the family foundation. So always Satan have an opportunity to kill True Father. So True Father was moving and moving and moving and made the foundation and Johnson and the pioneering and the missionary. Then welcoming the moment of the Holy Wedding Ceremony in 1960. That's why we should understand well the background. True Mother is preparing herself well, and True Father is also making the foundation for the providence all the time. And we are going to enter and see the 1960 Holy Wedding time period. So today we share about the 3 years time period before True Parents' Holy Wedding Ceremony. So we could see how True Father was seriously trying to pioneering the nation of Korea, send the missionary to the world, and to welcome that moment, to stand in this world, first time as the true parents, first time to the couple under Heavenly Parents' lineage. This is the moment in the historical moment and the starting moment of our God's lineage of the blessing and the blessed center family. So we can remind that moment. Maybe you have many kind of experience. You can share your heart, and we will continue our story. So thank you for joining today. This week also, we put our heart and offer the happiness to Heavenly Parents and True Parents and happiness to our brothers and sisters. We love people, we share our blessing, and let's have a great day. Thank you once again. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Reverend Yutaka. Thank you for your amazing words as always. Thank you. Yeah, wow. I got inspired by the part where Reverend Choi going to Japan. I heard that story a number of times, how he got persecuted and kicked out, but kept going back and then escaping from prison and starting the movement there. And the thing that struck me by his words were, even though he was persecuted by everybody and had to keep moving, he said, "I'm not alone. I have taken responsibility for the happiness of 100 million Japanese." And that really touched me, because just earlier, Reverend Yutaka talked about the footprints, how the person felt alone and and then basically complaining, why did you leave me alone? And then God had to say, well, I didn't leave you alone, I was carrying you. But here is a whole different other perspective, basically saying God, he's not alone. He's in Japan, and everyone is against him. He's Korean, and the Japanese occupied Japan. Japan occupied Korea for 40 years, and treated them as their slaves. And really gave them a hard time. So here comes this Korean who is trying to teach them about divine principle, how to be happy. I'm sure they must have really got angry at the impetus of this Korean who had come to teach the Japanese how to be happy, and yet he took on the responsibility. And I could really see that he wasn't ashamed, and he was brave, and he was willing to die, and he loved Japan more than the Japanese, and I see that that's the cornerstone to why he succeeded, and why the Japanese in the end realized that he was a great man. Ended up calling him father. Yeah. All right. Who would like to share first? Yes, Jacinta, go ahead.
Yeah, my spiritual mother was a German sister who'd always dreamed of going to Africa, and but instead she was sent to Australia by Paul Werner. And when she witnessed to me, she would tell me and Sandy, we were in the same center together, that you know, she will definitely go to Africa eventually. And we never imagined that it would happen, but within 6 months she was gone. And that must have been around about the time when she, when Father called people to go to Africa. So we were a little bit devastated, but I remember she sent me a necklace made of malachite, and so she really felt really sad that she was leaving us, even though we were quite young members. And but now she's got many spiritual children, and her daughter is now the one who reads the Peace TV news in Korea, Krista Oni. Yeah, so I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, thank you, Jacinta.
Maybe I speak,
Yeah, Reverend Ito, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I must speak because I was the one with a 75 missionary. Reverend Tanaka is there also, 75-year missionary. And at the time, you know, providential meaning, why Father sent at the time is, you know, not true parents have a blessing, and the true parents start 21-year course. First 7-year course with the family level foundation to true mother become a, you know, victorious mother to establish true family, and need 7 years, and they establish God's Day 1968. Then the next 7 year is a national level foundation. So Father's focus for the Korea. Then 1975, the starting of worldwide foundation. So Father first blessed 1800 couple blessing. The meaning of 1800 couple means 3 times 6, 666, means completely smashing Satan. And 1800, 18 plus 00 means for worldwide level, smashing Satan. This is the meaning of this 1800 couple blessing. So centering upon 1800 couple blessing, Father shifting to dispatch all around the world, like 95 nations. And at the time, Father chosen suddenly, based on 1800 couple blessing, and American, Japanese, and Germany is World War II enemy countries. So Father tried to indemnify World War II indemnity. Originally, the Korean must be go there, but at the time, Korean government doesn't allow Korean go to the overseas. So Korean couldn't be chosen, but Japanese, together with Korean mission together, and also American and Germany, this is a, economical development after the World War II and World War II enemy nation. And the father said, suddenly after 1800 couple blessing, before this Budokan rally, father tried to make a speech. When we come back from Korea, well, just blessing, father suddenly called to the old Japanese church, and there's a and just chosen 95 missionary Japanese at the time in Japan, and underground there is a meeting of Paul Warner from Germany and Neil Saronen from United States, a Japanese Reverend Kuboki and Mr. Oyamada together, and the meeting to choose missionary and come up to the second floor of this is placing, this is a dispatching our mission. We didn't know, but suddenly, everybody stand up and world map there, and now the name of the missionary. At the time, mission countries. Father said two important things. One important thing is you must unite. 3 missionaries must unite. Then, and if we unite, heavenly fortune will coming down to each mission countries. So first point is unite 3 missionaries. And the second point is you must be ancestor of the country. Later I understand, what this means, ancestor. Means because we are only one representative of true parents that country. So if we go there, all of our, what we thinking, what we did, become a tradition of that country. Same as Reverend Che in Japan, his attitude, his life of faith, way of thinking, become a tradition of Japanese church. So the same as, even we're so, sufficient personality, only just couple member or, young, leader, but if we go to that country, we are the first one anyway, first who brought gospel, this divine principle, representative of true parents in that country. So God obliged to walk through us, and our everything, attitude, way of thinking, become a tradition of that country. So this 2 point is important. But we didn't know so much, what this means. We never met American, German. And the first 3 to 5 years, big battle with American and the Japanese. American said, oh, you made Pearl Harbor. Japanese said, oh, no, you made, and, like Hiroshima bomb like this, And this old Jap guy came, many American missionaries, hippie, come from hippie, they drug up and long hair. But after 3-day workshop, they completely clean and become a missionary. Half of America is like those hippie come from hippies. And the German missionaries, very young, around 20 like this. Those who come to my mission country is 18 years old, only 18 years old, 18, 19, 20, very young, and only 6 months in the church, already dispatched to as a missionary. I'm very astonished, And Japanese half all is the already blessed couple. In American, half is blessed couple. Yeah, but we really mixed up like washing and potato together, Or I'm like a Japanese samurai type, and the American is like he's a hippie guy, and originally he's a Jews, most difficult character. I saw very closely sleep together, same room with not bed. And African come and very astonished, we sleep on the floor by the nuts, not bed, but the Africans sleep in the nuts. Oh, rich American Japanese sleep on the floor. They're very astonished. Yeah, something like this. We started from bottom, and we fight many times because our culture, way of thinking, way of understanding divine principle. Well, Americans say, oh, Reverend Sudo said like this. Reverend Sudo teaching in America. And the Japanese was the Japanese way of thinking. And the German is doesn't know anything so much because just a new member, only 6 months in the church. So like this. But 3 years, 5 years, we fight each other because we cannot speak English and the French country. We study first. So externally, we do nothing, that's just like a studying. But American understand French, English, and German also, easily understand. So, we activity so difficult. But later, we really great unite and make some new culture. Then when uniting, now African, members start coming. When we're fighting, never grow up. Church, when you unite, everything, good. And the father, 5 years later, father asking missionary, when we attended the 60th anniversary in New York, you must write testimony how you love one person. Yeah, how Japanese could have love American love Japanese, and Germany like this. No need how many members you restore. This is not important. Important thing is how you could love one person. Yeah, for me, American member is very difficult. Even American say, you work together with him. So I didn't say his name, but like this, very difficult person. Yeah, but very stubborn, but very, he's a great man. And later, I really respect him. He's a great man, and yeah, we learn from American. In the German, is like a Hitler soldier. The lady, she is her father is Hitler soldier who invaded Russia. This is a daughter of this Hitler soldier. When she occupied in Paris, now that soldier get Parisian pretty woman. This is the mother. So she speak French even, like this. Very interesting background. Yeah. And so we indemnify World War II indemnity and unite, then God is working. Yeah, that is the background. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Isha. Amazing story. Thank you. Yes, no, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I have high regards for the early missionaries. And Reverend Thomas must have been so young because he's still here when he went to missionary in Africa in late 79, I think. Reverend Clark came to New Zealand, and so a few of us were selected to go to our island nations as missionaries, and some Australian members as well to the islands in Oceania. So pretty much every island had a missionary. So I went to the Cook Islands, and so yeah, so I was so blessed to have been part or be among the missionaries at Father's 60th birthday, when all the missionaries gathered, and I was part of that. I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, I felt like a little fish, but yet so precious to have that time amongst them, mingling with these missionaries from different countries who have been in Africa, like Kathy in Africa, and many other. It was just an amazing experience, and I have high regards for the missionaries, especially for those who have made it and who are still in the movement and who have been successful. And And I'm just so sorry that I haven't been successful in my mission, and many of us in the islands. So, but it's good that some islands are doing well now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you. If time for another one, if you'd like to. Mary, I can see your hand up there. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing for Na and for Revenito. And I just want to share, when he was sharing, I believe that my husband had been witness to in Niger, another nearby country. Maybe Revenito was not there at the time that they came through Burkina Faso. They wanted him to go to Cote d'Ivoire to have a full lecture, like maybe a 7-day workshop. But the first lecture that he really heard as a lecture was given by the very young German missionary. And at the end of her lecture, somehow he asked some complicated question, or some question that she couldn't answer. But because she couldn't answer, and she felt such she just burst into tears because she couldn't answer this question, and that won his heart. After that, he couldn't criticize anymore, and he absolutely kept going to Cote d'Ivoire. Even it just won his heart that this young person was trying to educate him, who was older, and the difficult question. Anyway, was he realized maybe this is too critical and if she's bursting into tears, I can't do any more. This is very sincere person. Yeah. So I think thank you, Reverendito, for sharing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So it's at that time now, I'll just share the screen, and we can do our Hundok. Just 1 second. Our 7-minute prayer. So let's pray together. Thank you.
Ask Revenito to share.
Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a great day, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Uh,
See you.